Dan and Corey here, welcoming you into Libservative.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back.
Yeah. Did you guys realize that there was like a 3,000-year-old Israelite tablet recently discovered, like a couple days ago?
Mm-mm.
You know what it said?
What?
Israel's about a week away from a nuke. Ba-doom!
You mean Iran?
That's what I meant. I fucked up my own joke. I need more to drink. Yes, thank you for saving the joke for me, Corey. Yeah, that was a pretty embarrassing Freudian slip. Not a great way to start the show. Anyway,
I know. I was over here. I had this ad pop up on one of my articles about White Castle, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds really good for a goy like me."
Anyway,
it's
welcome
probably human meat. No, I'm just kidding.
To another rousing rendition of Libservative. Intellectuality is fostering political and cultural literacy, and the world's smartest internet show. He, as always, is Corey Walsh.
He's Dan Griffin.
Mel the Body Snatcher on the ones and twos. And I'm a little prickly this week, Corey, because it's been kind of an annoying week. I had no fun dreams this week about me like fighting Tim Pool. Just one about tickle torturing Candace Owens during my nap today. It was weird because she kept calling me Charlie, so it wasn't like it wasn't as good as you'd think it would be.
Dad, I don't want to hear about your nocturnal emissions.
I just told you she kept calling me Charlie. So
I don't give a fuck.
It got weird. It got real weird. And then I was trying to enjoy a nice gold medal victory for the United States hockey team, and it only took about 3 hours for affluent, childless, liberal white women to ruin everything. They just ruined it.
Yeah, it goes to the LeBron thing. Like, I don't know who I'm more pissed off. It's just, you're all just terrible.
Yeah.
The fucking hockey team won for the first time in like 50 years or something like that. I don't know exactly.
46 because it was 1980.
Yeah, it's like 46 years. And it got stupidly politicized by some kid who portrayed himself to be in the bro club for so long. We saw his victory. I'm talking about Kash Patel. We saw his victory wasn't about like USA winning the gold. It was about him finally getting into the manosphere he's been trying to portray. That was his Valhalla.
Finally got into the bro club. Let's get him on skates.
Like the way he's doing his beer, like he's just like, I made it. Look at me. Like that's the way I looked at it. He was there,
And I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
And which was fucking annoying. He says that he got invited in. I don't think he did.
Bill Guerin invited him in.
Who's Bill
GM
Guerin?
of the GM of the team.
Oh, so it wasn't even one of the hockey players. It was the GM of the team.
Yeah,
that right there.
So, if anybody's a fascist, it's Bill Guerin.
Is anyone talking shit about Bill Guerin? No, they're talking about like Dylan Larkin or like one of the other 4 players from Michigan.
It's so funny that selfie.
We've all seen Shoresy. You know, you've known a couple hockey players in your life. We've all seen Letterkenny, which are basically documentaries when it comes to hockey players. They live hockey, they fuck, they fight, and they drink beer.
They did all those things, I think.
Do you even think half of them knew who Kash Patel was?
Dude, that's the joke, right? So the first thing that came out was that selfie of Dylan Larkin with Kash Patel behind him, and I'm looking at that and I'm like, first of all, Dylan Larkin's probably wasted on champagne. He's probably already had 3 glasses of champagne and a couple of beers. He probably didn't even fucking know who Kash Patel was. He just saw this short
guy in there with his eyes all fucked, and he's like, damn, that homie's fucked up.
He probably thought he was a Make-A-Wish kid or something, wanted a selfie with him. That's what That's what I'm
Right.
imagining.
And then it's just, full disclosure, I didn't even watch the fucking game.
You missed it, man. It's a great hockey game.
I know. I didn't even know it was on. You know, everyone after it was over was like, "Oh shit, that game! Did you watch that?" It's like,
no,
I was probably fucking off watching the Penguin on HBO Max, eating chips and drinking milk or some dumb bullshit. You know, just like I'm sitting here just watching this show I can watch anytime, and everyone else is watching history be made.
Well, if you didn't know the schedule, you don't generally think to turn on a hockey game at 8:00 in the morning, but
yeah, that too.
But
yeah, and so it's like, no, I'm not gonna let politics fucking ruin something. Like, I still care about that. Like, that's fucking cool. You know, I'm waiting for the movie, like Miracle on Ice #2. We beat Canada.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and then it's like I'm seeing people on the left, like they don't even deserve to share the same ice with the women skaters. And it's like, what? And then
dude, I saw some chick on TikTok that was like, all right, let's have the two best teams in the world, the US men and the US ladies, get on the ice, and the loser loses their voting rights. Women lose their voting rights if they lose. Men lose their voting rights if they lose. And I'm sitting there going, "This got to be parity, right?" But no, I think she actually thought that the U.S. women's team could beat the U.S. men's team on the ice.
And I don't take no orders from no woman, by the way.
Yeah, it's just, I don't mean to sound misogynistic. Like, the women also won a gold. Like, they did great too. Like,
yes, they did.
Thing. And that didn't happen in the 80s. Like, that's fucking cool.
And just as heroic of a fashion too, an overtime game winner against Canada. It was a great game to watch.
And
the ladies were great to watch as well.
Were any of the women hockey players from Michigan?
Yeah, the chick who scored the golden goal is from
fucking
Farmington?
Hockey runs through Michigan.
I could be wrong about that. I think she's from like Farmington or something like that. She's from somewhere in Metro Detroit.
Hockey of the world runs through fucking Michigan, man. That's fucking cool.
Well, you do realize that the whatchamacallit, the U18 and the U17 leagues or teams train in Plymouth. So you can go see them. You can go watch them. You can watch play games. Pretty fun, actually. What else annoyed me about this week? Oh, same old escalation over Iran.
Oh, but I was also going to say is
this movie before.
It also felt hollow. You know, I meant to still go on about it, right? Because like I kind of had a lot of thoughts about it, even though I didn't watch the game. Just watching something as pure as ice hockey fucking just get tainted by politics.
I don't give a fuck.
You know, and then the rights act like, oh, you liberals are acting like snowflakes about this, but then they're talking just as much shit about the women's team for deciding not to go to the White House. And it's just like, oh, now you're sounding like, and nobody fucking gets it. That's what fucking kills me. It's like, how do you not see it at this point?
We can't have nice things. It would have been better off, honestly, from a political discourse perspective. I'm just going to say this one thing, and then you can finish. From a political discourse perspective, it almost seems like we would have been better off had the men lost that game to Canada.
Right?
It's
what
wild.
the fuck? Like, I wonder how many hockey fans there are in real life compared to how many people are complaining about hockey to players now.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
Like, all of a sudden, everyone fucking gets pissed off about hockey because politics got involved. That probably like were like me, didn't even watch the fucking game.
Dude, there's local social media posts about like, I mean, here in Detroit, Dylan Larkin is the Red Wings captain. Yep. And he came, by the way, didn't go to the State of the Union because he got back to the team to start practice because they have a game. I actually think they're playing right now as we speak. And there's just like the local news posts about it. Dylan Larkin returns to the Red Wings. You know what I mean? Just basic fucking news about sports.
Dude, what if he comes back and wins the fucking Stanley?
Well,
they're
like
going to playoffs, right?
I mean, they should if they don't tank out. But like half the comments on these news posts are just about how like Dylan Larkin should be traded because he did a mean thing. And like, because the thing that drives me so nuts about it is like they just won a gold medal. They're sitting in the locker room and they're obviously on like some of them the highest highs of their careers, because there's a lot of guys in that locker room that have never won a Stanley Cup. A gold medal is probably the second best thing to winning a Stanley Cup. And
right.
And the president calls them to congratulate them. Listen, I'm no Trump fan, but I can promise you, if I were on that team, I'd be like drunk. I'd be like, dude, sick. We're getting a call from the president. And then he says a mean thing about the women's team, like a misogynistic thing about the women's team, which is no surprise. That's Trump's MO.
Which
is anybody
also
shocked by
that? Which also exposes a whole other sector of all of this bullshit noise people argue about, with like people being trans in their own personal lives and wanting the government to get involved. They just paid all this legislation to protect women's sports and to protect the integrity of the women's game. They deserve this right too. And then he makes this phone call to them. He's like, oh, fuck a women, right?
Yeah, no, he's like, what he said was shitty, but like, what do you honestly expect the players to do? Do you expect them to sit there and go, Mr. President, you really shouldn't have said that?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's like when you hear a guy making a comment when you're walking past him when you're going in and out of the bathroom at a bar at 2 a.m, and you hear him say something misogynistic or even racist or something. You gotta fucking just start a fight right there in the middle of the bar.
You're never gonna see that person again.
Yeah, you just say to yourself, "Fucking idiot."
The biggest love that we've seen.
But yeah, nope. I'm not gonna let either side of it ruin for me. I just laugh at all of them.
Me too. And don't get me wrong. Like when I saw that selfie of Kash and Dylan Larkin, because Dylan Larkin's my guy. I'm a Red Wings fan, right? I found it annoying, but I wasn't like, oh man, Red Wings got to get rid of Dylan Larkin. That's just unacceptable.
Right.
You know, like I was annoyed by it, but that was it. I wasn't like,
you know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna try to make a
more
concerted effort to just tell people I don't have an opinion on that. On different things like this. Like,
well, that makes you
see, I think I might even start fucking commenting on people's posts because it would enrage them more. Because
which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Bell, what were you trying to say?
Fuck him anyways because Dylan Larkin just scored a goal.
Fuck
he did for the Red Wings.
Oh, nice. What's the score?
The score is 2-1, I believe.
LGRW, baby.
Oh, 1-1.
Very good.
I think he said 1-1.
I think he did too. It's okay. Next thing that was annoying about this week, same old escalation over Iran. Just over and over again. How many times do you have to play this game? The playbook straight out of the Iraq War, which everyone who's decently smart in journalism in any way, shape, or form, the Glenn Greenwalds of the world, pointing this out because it's very easy to see. And a snooze fest of a State of the Union address. That was not Trump at his best. It just wasn't. There's no world where it was. Listen, I got to a point about, I don't want to talk a ton about the State of the Union. It's already been beaten to death. But I think I turned to my Twitter feed after about 15 minutes because that was exponentially more entertaining than the State of the Union address. And probably the most entertaining thing about it was I felt in certain spots like I was back in 2016 / like early 2025, where it was just a bunch of Trump sycophants on Twitter going, man, he's really owning those Democrats. And I'm just sitting there and I'm going, is that really still enough for you? Like, that's enough
owning
for
the
you?
libs. It's insane that owning the libs.
That's the most important thing. Because
then Blue Mega's the same way.
Trump had a couple of moments there. Like the moment with Ilhan Omar when she was up yelling, talking about how he killed he killed American citizens or whatever the hell else she yelled. And then Trump basically just screamed this right
And
at
I
her.
don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
So that was okay. And
Dude, another thing that's insane to me is when people talk about, like, because you're talking about the yelling and screaming, is people on the left and the right do the same fucking performative shit. And then I would be watching conservatives cheering on Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene for standing up and yelling
yeah.
at Trump.
At Biden.
Or at Biden, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh my God, look at these animals. And now it's just flip-flopped. Like one half stands up, the other half stays seated. They all bring in these little guests to talk about. Trump got really gory and morbid for some reason. I don't know why he was doing that. Bell said, I think it was Bell that said it's just to get more police funding, even though he was talking about the military or the murder rate being the lowest it's been in 100 years.
Bell, I know I told you to pull the video you have up there first, but I think we're going out of order. I'm calling an audible. Pull up the one video I have from the State of the Union since Corey and I are getting into it. We'll run through that real quick first. But I did find you can always tell Trump's Trump's biggest weakness is his own vanity, and it always is. And like, I don't know if he's generally upset with the fact that the Democrats aren't standing up for anything or applauding anything, or if he's using the fact that they're not applauding just to feed red meat to his base. It could be a combination of both, but I think you're right, Corey. I think it's more of just feeding red meat to his base. But the whole thing about it is like, this is nothing new. This is what happens at State of the Unions now. Whoever's the president, his side stands up and applauds, and the other side stays seated. You know, it's not 2008. It's not 2012 anymore. There's no decorum left in Congress. And some of it, I think, is awesome because it's entertaining. Because you could make the argument that the decorum that was taking place, during the Obama administration and before, it was all phony. It was all phony decorum. But now it's all kind of phony outrage, right? Because we already know that these people care about the same things. How do we know that? Because the few times that Democrats actually applauded or actually stood up were things like war with Iran. You know what I mean? Oh, we're going to war?
Oh yeah, they all
stand up and clap. Stand up and clap for the war. They love the war. I don't know. That's but like the way that red meat gets people riled up on the internet it is fascinating to me, because you did see that. Like I said, I was paying closer attention to my Twitter feed than I was to the actual speech, and like the amount of people that were the amount of conservatives just clutching their pearls over, I can't believe those Democrats aren't clapping. Like it's all a game. It's all political theater. I mean, how do you not realize this in 2026? That the whole thing is political theater. Political theater is 75% or more of the reason why Trump is president in the fucking first place. I mean, it's all WWE, dude. They sit there and they pretend to hate each other, and then they walk back up the ramp to backstage and shake hands with Vince McMahon. That's what they do.
Right.
It's what they all do.
And Vince McMahon would be the lobbyist. The one who's paying
the lobbyist or the deep state.
Right. Yeah, there was some major gaffes too, right? The one where he was talking about that little girl. I don't even know the story. I don't even know the whole story, but like he was talking about that little girl being shot in the leg, and like he talked about her leg, like bones just being decimated, like. And then he's like, and she can't walk, but she'll get there or something like that. And then he's like, can you please stand up? Can you stand up, please? Like in the same breath. I saw that and I was like, wait, what the fuck?
2 seconds later,
even the dad was like, what the
fuck? His dad had to pick her up. Like
Donald Trump is a bad guy. He's a bad person.
Like obviously what happened to her is shitty, but like that was like, I don't know, straight out of the fucking Office.
Yeah, that was a Michael Scott moment for sure.
Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, you saw him do certain things that was like clever, right? Like when he didn't use the average which is like about $2.80 average for a gallon of gas right now. And he didn't use the average in either thing. But it's just like word manipulation when he makes it sound like worse and better. He was talking about under Biden, gas was as high as $6 in some states. It's like that never happened here. I think we hit 5. I don't even know if we hit 5. I think
I don't think we quite hit 5 here.
We were like,
and we generally, for some reason, have higher than average gas prices almost all the time. It's probably because we're so close to a major city. Like I think I got gas for $3.09 today. That's what it was.
I think there's that, and we probably do have more regulations. We're surrounded by water.
It's true. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like he checked all the boxes. Economy's great. Check. Secure border. Check. Which is one of his winning issues.
Let me finish what I was saying, because then when he talked about the lowest gas prices right now, he used that number for his administration. To where even if it was the same presidency, you can make a whole different narrative based on the highest number and the lowest number.
Of course.
So he was creating he's like, yeah, it's like $1.92. It's like in Oklahoma or something like that. But hey, Bella, real quick, look up the highest gas price in America right now. Let's look that up, because you could still use that number and then argue and be like, gas is still as high as this. And like right now, it's like what, like 280 here? It's probably right around average.
539 in California.
539 in California. Gas is still high in the nation, but he doesn't give a shit because it's a blue state.
Some of that's Gavin Newsom's fault, but
Gavin Newsom.
You see him being racist?
Yeah, I sure did. Also, what was I gonna say? Oh well, I lost it.
I know it's what pretty much every State of the Union has been in my lifetime, which is, like you said, Corey, take the top end numbers, take the numbers that make you look good. You use those. Like the thing that Biden did was he took the things that like had lower prices, but like overall grocery prices were super high. Trump did the same thing. He's like, eggs are lower. And he like cherry picked a few items that are cheaper than they might have been a year ago or a couple of years ago. But it's like, yeah, but dude, overall grocery prices are still higher. And they always
at least by
play
2%.
And they all play that they all play the inflation game where they talk about how inflation's down. Like, that's not the number that anybody fucking cares about, because inflation is 2%. It's 2% on top of whatever it was before that and whatever it was, but like it's an exponential growth in inflation. So just because inflation is 2% now or whatever the number is, there was no deflation anywhere during that. So everything is still more expensive.
Yeah. And you know what's stupid too is like he got so riled up talking about just pissing off Democrats that like he didn't actually talk about things like, because like right now for a lot of people, wages are finally like going raising faster than inflation, and it's been a couple years for that. There are a couple of things that are good for the macro, but just because it's like you're finally like making more money, shit's still expensive. Tariffs are still fucking things. You know, everyone's like, well, the stock market is up. Well, it's like, well, yeah, the stock market generally rises with inflation because the dollars are being added more and more to the economy, making their value less. It makes sense what I'm saying, right?
Yes. That's that's the issue. Making more money from extra printed dollars, that doesn't make you wealthy.
That are being printed to go to these companies that are in the stock market, only inflating their fucking stock. Like,
right. So you have more money, but money is fake. Money is not wealth.
Yeah, it's just a weird flex because people don't understand like the economics of it.
Think of that. But he did say that, you know, the stock market was great.
Like the dollar since 1920, I think since 1925, the dollar has lost like 90% of its value.
I don't know if it's that high, but it's a lot.
No, it is. Look,
he doesn't have to.
$1,000 today was like, fuck, what was it? Like 35 or like $50 in like 1925.
Yeah, like it's a lot. We know it's a lot. So to your point, Corey, he brought the stock market is great. He checked that box. A couple other boxes he checked were The Medicare trope. Yep, you got to feed the boomers their red meat. Got to throw that one out there. And then, the Iran trope. But the best part, and we'll talk about Iran a little bit here in a little bit. But the best part, probably the best moment of the speech was right here. Go ahead and roll that one, Bell. Everybody's going to know this one.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we were always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud.
And then he goes on to wash the balls of the entire Olympic hockey team.
And I don't take no orders from no woman, by the way. And I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
Dude, that spot of that speech, first of all, I think somebody should check his pants because he might have creamed himself. But also, it sounded like Trump was doing an impression of somebody trying to do an impression of Trump. That's what that sounded like. It sounded like him trying to do an impression of himself. No, no, no. We're going to keep winning.
And but yeah. So it was just the same typical hullabaloo. Nothing super special other than Trump's bombastic personality.
And he had to set the record for the longest speech ever because that's
right.
That's again.
It was the same thing.
Vanity.
One side claps, the other side doesn't.
Yeah, it's all theater. The whole thing.
Manipulating numbers to make it look like it's going better than it is.
Oh my God. They showed Nancy Mace once, dude. She had that gorgeous rack stashed away in storage somewhere. That was my biggest disappointment of the speech. I was so upset. They showed Nancy Mace and she had it all pushed up and tucked away. Like she must have heard me. She must have heard me.
Sorry, bud.
It's disappointing. So disappointing. And Erica Kirk. My God. She was really trying to force those tears, man. Yeah, dude. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I really did. I tried. I'm like, stop picking on Erica. She's a grieving widow. Please don't do this. And then she just keeps putting herself out there. She takes over as CEO of Turning Points. Keeps putting herself out there. It just... She is a terrible actress. She is so bad.
Let's lighten up the mood.
And what were those rings she was wearing that she had to like make sure she showed to the camera?
I don't know. One had an M, one had a G. I don't know what their kids' names are. I'm assuming it's something significant like that.
It is their kids.
I mean, Candace Owens probably thinks it has something to do with Israel.
Belle is our jewelry hand specialist. So he's seen a lot of hands.
Belle has a hand fetish?
It actually stands for Miss Goyim.
The M stands for Basad.
We laugh, but I don't think he's joking.
We have to stay woke.
Barron looked so bored. I love how bored he always looks. I don't think he's going to be anything like his dad. I don't think he has any interest in being like that charismatic guy. He just looks so bored all the time. I think he just looks so bored everywhere he is. Like his mom drags him out of the house and makes him put on a suit. And he's just like, Mom, do I have to go watch another one of Dad's speeches?
Yeah, he just doesn't look like super enthused to be there.
Why was his mic? And by the way, why was Trump's mic so hot? It was so
I don't know,
hot.
man.
You know what's funny?
It almost feels like it was on purpose.
That's the whole thing. Again, I said I was paying more attention to my Twitter feed than I was to the State of the Union. And fucking Patrick Bet David has to go out and be like, I bet there's a Democrat running that mic.
Why can't they just get a limiter? Come on, like how big is their government?
I mean, I don't know if PBD was joking, but that's just like, there's gonna be a lot of people who don't think. I mean, like that State of the Union just showed a slow burning realization that literally nothing is off limits for politicization. We got hockey teams, we got dead kids, we got disabled kids, we got molested kids, we got kids with gender dysphoria, and then we have state sanctioned murder. So all of those things, they're not beyond politicization.
And hockey.
That's what I said. Yeah, hockey teams. Yeah.
Yeah. The Medal of Honor became politicized.
Medal of Freedom.
Or Medal of Freedom.
That's
no,
always
no,
been...
not the Medal of Freedom. The Medal of Honor to that one soldier. It's
okay,
usually done.
I thought you were talking about the Medal of Freedom going to Connor Hellebuck.
Are you talking about the guy that got shot in the head?
No, he got a Purple Heart.
Yeah. Okay. Who got a?
I think he was a pilot. He had the Walker.
Something about a flood.
No, that wasn't him with the flood. Oh yeah, Trump said he went. Like obviously after the water receded.
Peekaboo.
I would say
in Venezuela.
The one that got shot. It might have been him. Yeah, but like he was like a decorated soldier. Like he had a lot of bars on his sleeve. I believe that each one of those bars means like 6 months of combat, and he had like fucking 25 of them.
Listen, I'm going to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day.
That's a guy who was doing what he believed like was for his country to defend the homeland and putting like a real badass, putting his life on the line and shit and doing this shit. And now someone doing that for the country, just it's bastardized. It's politicized.
Yep.
Like someone who like he saved like a lot of his I guess like when Trump was talking, he got shot in the leg and he kept the plane steady or the helicopter steady and moving during the mission and got his people out of there. And then the co-pilot had to take over. But it's like
he got
his calm, cool collectiveness fucking saved. What'd you say?
So it was when they were flying in and they were dropping people off and they were shooting at the chopper. The guy was hit and still managed to land the chopper in a crazy ass place and then got his soldiers out after killing the people that shot him.
Yeah. Like that's badass.
Only
that's pretty
people
badass.
are getting attacked.
Was that Maduro looking out on his compound?
Yeah. I don't know.
but yeah, and then like so like someone like that who like and then like save the lives of his fellow soldiers goes and his fucking Medal of Honor gets diminished because Trump politicized it.
Yeah, or
kind of fucked up. It's shitty.
Somehow he's a fascist because he got a Medal of Honor from Donald Trump. Just like Connor Hellebuck's a fascist because he got a Medal of Freedom.
You could no, that's the thing, right? Like you could be upset about the idea of the military-industrial complex and regime change wars and stuff like that, but the individuals, even if you kind of know what you're signing up for, some people look at it as no other option. And if you're defending, and if you're saving the lives of your fellow soldiers, I guess it's it's pretty admirable.
Got anything else from the State of the Union? I love how I always jump on here and I'm like, I don't want to talk about this a lot, and we're a half hour deep.
Have you like reviewed our text messages?
No.
Throughout that whole thing?
Do you have any idea how much bullshit we throw in there? All of us. I'm guilty of it too.
Listen, I'm going to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day.
Trump snuffed Amy Coney Barrett.
I thought he shook her hand.
No, he didn't. Unless he went back. Unless he went back, he went through. Hey, Bell, see if you can find video of Trump shaking Amy Coney Barrett's hand.
I think one of us was Mandela affected there because I swear he shook her hand.
I don't know. Oh, and then he talked about price transparency. Right? He just like, it sounds so simple. It's like, okay, they do that for everything. Why can't the Pentagon? Why can't the Pentagon do that?
Right. We can do it with Medicare and Medicaid and oh yeah, how he's gonna put JD Vance in charge of fraud.
Dude, I'm pretty sure didn't they just cut Medicaid off to Minnesota?
They didn't cut it. They cut off certain aspects of it. It's not a complete cutoff. I don't know the details behind that. It's pretty fresh from today.
I read they.
What do you got, Bell?
I read they completely cut.
What'd you say, Bell?
He did shake her hand. There was only 4 justices there. He shook all their
That's
hands.
what I thought. See,
okay.
You got Mandela affected there. Yeah, Mandela affected pretty hard.
I saw him walk through, and he must have shook
her
hands like when he left or something, because like when he came in.
No, he did. He shook her hand when he came in. He shook all their hands. You missed it. But he did say something to her that was caught on mic. I can't believe that this was caught.
And I don't take no orders from the woman, by the way.
Okay. What else you got? Anything else on the State of the Union?
Oh, he admitted again that we obliterated Iran's nuclear capacity.
Oh yeah, but they're also so dangerous that we have to do it again.
Yeah. There's video. I should have shared that one. Netanyahu saying that Iran is weeks away from getting a nuclear weapon.
Bell's got it.
And he's been saying it since 1995.
Actually, it goes back earlier than that. It goes back nearly 40 years of a young Go ahead and roll this, Bell. This is Bibi Netanyahu all of the times telling us that Iran's going to get a nuclear weapon. Let's see if this actually plays, because I know it was a shitty quality.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
If not stopped.
So that only goes back to 1995. It goes back longer than that.
They've been weeks away from a nuclear bomb for 30 years, Dan.
The thing that drives me so nuts about this is because what you always get is like, oh, well, the only reason they haven't is because we, the royal we, I don't know who we is. We've stopped them. We've thwarted their ability to get it. And it's like, you have no evidence of that. But also, you have Bibi Netanyahu saying this over the course of nearly 40 years now. And so if or when we get to a point where Iran does have a nuclear weapon, guess what you are now, asshole? You're the boy who cried wolf. Nobody's going to believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you today. I didn't believe you last year. I didn't believe you 5 years ago. I was too young to believe you 30 years ago, but I still wouldn't believe you then.
They know and chirp more about Iran's nuclear armament more than their own. Because they don't even admit to having one themselves.
They don't technically have any nuke. And it's so funny, Greg, because what do they always say? They're like, well, if Iran gets a nuke, they'll use it. And it's like, so let me get this straight. If they get a nuke, they'll use it. Which regime do you think is more insane? And I don't think I'm not going to say the regimes you think I'm going to say. I'm not going to compare Israel to Iran. What I'm going to do is compare Iran to North Korea. North Korea's got a nuke. Why haven't they used it? They're crazier than the Iranians are.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they don't have a way to transport it. Like you don't think if they can figure out how to build a nuke, they could figure out how to transport, or even if they just use it on Japan, which is right across the fucking
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they could use it on somebody.
Iran.
They could certainly use it on somebody. Like when you stop thinking of nuclear weapons, like I wish they would all go away. Don't get me wrong. Like if there was like a world where tomorrow we could wake up and every country goes, yeah, we're going to just get rid of all these things and never bring them back again, I would be all for that. However, that is not an option. So the next best thing is honestly for everyone to have a nuke, Because if everyone has a nuke,
kind of no one has them.
There's forced peace. But for some reason, because we don't like this place over here, and we don't say, or we say you don't get to have a nuke, you don't get to have a nuke. They're kind of the same way that like the Houthis aren't an actual, they don't actually run the area of Yemen that they actually run because we say that your government's not legitimate. We get to decide whether or not your government is legitimate. We get to say whether or not your nuclear proliferation is legitimate. And it's like, am I more afraid of Iran using a nuke? And this is a serious question. Am I more afraid of Iran using a nuke, or am I more afraid of Israel using a nuke?
That's like a coin flip. Because if one uses one, the other one will.
I don't think it's a coin flip. I can tell you exactly who I think would be willing to launch a nuke first.
Right, but
I'll give you a hint.
They already have one. Why haven't they yet?
Who, the Israelis?
Yeah.
Because they have not quite been backed into that corner yet. But they're the ones that are constantly freaking out about, quote unquote, their existence being snuffed out. Like, they're the ones that have the paranoia about whether or not they have a right to exist, or about whether or not they're going to be harmed by the neighbors around them that they've never been able to play nice with.
Yeah, but we know that at the overall of that's a front, just like it is with like our two-party government. It's just a front. They know. I think that they're using that fear as like a propaganda tool. I don't think that
100%.
Israel,
They always have.
I don't think the people of Israel have that fear that the government is trying to instill in everyone else happening to them.
No, well, it's like we've said, nobody needs anti-Semitism more than Zionists, than the Zionazi Israeli government. Nobody needs it. Nobody needs it more than they do. They have to have it.
Yeah,
they have to have anti-Semitism, because if there's no anti-Semitism, there's no reason for them to be.
It's like
fearful,
it's like some of the domestic terrorists we have here. The government has to help create them in order to justify their existence.
It's pretty simple. And then Trump and his
Hamas was in, like, when all this shit kicked off again, which made everyone start really paying attention to everything going on with Israel, which only hurt themselves. They Barbara Streisand themselves. The only reason that was even, I don't want to say, I'm not going to use allowed to happen, but what put the pieces in place to make it happen was Hamas was the controlled opposition. That was the only government that was allowed in that area, and they were voted in like 20 years ago, and the average age in Palestine is, or Gaza or West Bank, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to get everyone tripped up.
They're land grabbers. Did you
it's like 18.
Did you listen to the,
so like they were all kids when they were put in power. They have no choice.
Did you listen to the Tucker interview with Mike Huckabee?
I did.
And to Tucker's credit, like, he's given biblical references, because Mike Huckabee is an evangelical theologian. Like, the man knows the Bible way better than I do.
Yeah.
Way better than you do. Maybe even better than Tucker does. But Huckabee tried to use the Bible to explain why Israel in its current state is, the quote unquote good guys. But he goes on to, Tucker quotes the Bible, and I'm going to butcher this, but Tucker quotes the Bible and talks about how, it states that Israel can have everything from the Nile to the Euphrates. Well, that's most of the Middle East.
Yeah.
So if you're using the Bible to explain what Israel can and should be, do you not see how the Israeli government, if they're using the Bible, they'll use it as an excuse for a land grab?
Well, that's what's insane, is like he tried to equate Israel's existence to like biblical, like, what was he called?
Huckabee?
Yeah, biblical law. He was like, well, biblical law and like sovereignty or whatever. Remember, he said that it made it. He like, it's like they deserve it just a little bit more, is what it felt like he was saying.
Yeah, and
like, how can you say that with such confidence and use that as such like more evidence like for your argument, but then get pissed off and then just try to delegitimize someone else's religion on the other side of the world for using that as the same reason they're doing something. Like it's mind-boggling. I mean, like how
because Corey, because one of them are bad guys and one of them are good guys, and the good guys have to win.
I guess so, yeah.
7-year-olds playing with action figures. I don't know how many times I have to say it. It's
You're not wrong.
And what that interview demonstrated to me is that Israel is the only country in the world that has 2 ambassadors to the United States, and that the United States has 0 ambassadors towards. Because Mike Huckabee just demonstrated himself as an ambassador working for Israel in the United States, not the other way around. By the way, anybody, Tucker's pointed this out about Lindsey Graham, but I also noticed it about Mike Huckabee. The way they say Israel. Anyone who says it like that, Israel, I think that might be like a code term. I think that's what that is. It's a tell. It's a tell as to who your loyalty is for. A foreign, a foreign nation, or are you America first?
I know Lindsey Graham's like, I go every 2 weeks.
I take a vacation. I finger bang little boys' booty holes over there somewhere. I don't know where they take me, but I love it.
That might be defamation.
I don't care. Go ahead and sue
Mango
me.
tear.
Go ahead and make me
Put it in
famous.
reverse, tear.
I'll take your lawsuit.
Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, jeez.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
That one's never going to get old. Thank you, Ted Cruz. Oh, man.
Oh,
but it's all
Harris thought it was funny, too.
It's all the same basic playbook from 2002. It's all the same playbook from the Iraq War. These people are bad. They have nuclear weapons. They're going to use them. They have weapons of mass destruction. And in 20 years, we're going to have the same people that, I mean, if the world still exists in 20 years, we're going to have the same people that are sitting
Iran
here
is weeks
today.
away from getting a nuclear bomb, Dan. Didn't you hear?
That's true. And, you give Israel enough time, they'll launch a nuke on Iran. But we'll be here in 20 years, and the same people that are sitting here talking about how an attack on Iran is a good idea will either quietly slip away into the ether, or they'll actually admit that they were wrong, just like we're getting today and have been for the last
about the Iraq War
10 or so years about the Iraq War. It's the same playbook. There's nothing different. And what's funny is they're not even pretending that it's different. They're not even trying to come up with a new game plan over why a war with Iran is a good idea. It's the same game plan.
It's the same fucking game plan they used for Maduro a couple months ago.
At least we don't have Condoleezza Rice getting on the TV going, we got to fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here.
And everyone's just like, oh, yeah, I'd like that. That makes sense.
These assholes.
And it's just like, how do we not? Yeah. It's like, I get, like, for the American people, I understand, like, I was just a boy. But it's like, I understand, like, the political climate was different. People trusted the government a little bit more. Social media wasn't a thing. People were still kind of only being fed a limited source of like information from different things.
You had a few options. That was it.
Yeah, they only had a couple options.
And like all those same options, all they're designed to do now, and it's so easy to see if you watch Fox or you watch CNN or you watch NBC or
flip back and forth with them. That's fun.
The only thing that they're designed to do is to manufacture your consent for war. That's it. That's all Fox News is. We got to manufacture your consent for war. Let's scare the shit out of the boomers again.
Give you your marching orders for what your team, the talking points for your team and why the other team is wrong. Like MS, like if you like, for real, if you get a second, just switch.
It's MS now though,
like,
Corey.
When there's some sort of breaking news thing happening, like right after that speech, would have been a perfect time to do this.
I was too exhausted.
Just switch back and forth between MSN Now MS Now or whatever they're calling it, and Fox News. And just watch them talking about the same exact thing, but the way it's being described is just 100% different world. And you both know about the same topic, but it's being presented to you 100% different than your coworker or someone you're going to go to the bar with later. And it's absolutely fucking bonkers that they just get away with it, and that people don't realize that that's what they're doing.
It's one of my favorite Michael Malice quotes. He's been saying this for years, and it's brilliant because it's so simple and so true. These media organizations are factual, but they're not truthful.
Right.
And it's just that simple.
They lie a lot by omission. It's a lot of things. Like, numbers are so easy manipulated. You know, there was like that example I used earlier about like the gas prices. The highest gas price under Obama's administration was $6, or under Biden's administration was $6. Well, we just looked it up. The highest gas price right now is $5.32 or $5.25 or whatever it was. And then he goes, and then the lowest gas price is now is $1.92, which it probably was maybe like $2.30, $2.40, you know, when Biden was president, which is still
average.
No, I'm saying like the lowest gas price you could.
Okay.
It's like
the
national average right now is like almost $1 more,
dude.
Than
and
the
it's just like,
price.
How many times do we have to tell people like the president doesn't have it, barely has anything to do with gas prices. Just barely anything.
A lot of it's about futures.
Yeah, and like they can have
There's
some
a cartel that runs it. Like,
administrations have some
you can't.
effect,
Like, that's
but
the
it's
thing.
not.
Is like you can't. And inflation plays a part in this. Is why you'll never see really cheap gas ever again, because the value of the dollar is lowering, and the oil refineries, the oil drills, the wells, all of it has to be cost efficient to run in the fucking first place. Right?
Did you? By the way, we missed this part.
You can only drill so much and make only so much oil to make it worth a certain price that you need to be profitable.
Did you like how Israel took its first batch of Venezuelan oil in 14 years?
Oh, Israel did?
Yeah, or I think it was 14 years. It was something. It's been a long time. It's like, you don't see the game here? You really don't see the game here?
Well, we got to
go take the show. We got to go take out Hezbollah in Venezuela. Or do you want to send Venezuelan oil overseas? And
was that actually said? Was there Hezbollah in Venezuela?
Yeah, Ted Cruz said that.
Oh, Jesus.
BB probably said it too. Oh yeah, there's this like Hezbollah's all over South America now.
Oh yeah, no, Venezuela was, like we talked about, unfortunately, just a chess piece on a chessboard in geopolitics. America took it because they could sell it to people who are buying cheap Russian oil right now, and that money is fueling the Russian war in Ukraine. India just said they're going to buy oil from Venezuela, as far as I know. Last time I read, that could have changed, but that's 37% of Russia's oil output, like revenue. So it puts a huge like dent in Russia's war machine money. And
okay, we have all just participated in a hate crime.
You're controlling a whole other massive resource of oil that is now going to have to be traded in the US dollar versus BRICS, where Venezuela, like, I think was like going to try to work with BRICS, but like, yeah, it's just, that's what it is. It's probably all Greenland, because of the natural resources there. They want to trade it in US dollars.
It's all a show.
Not about the resource. It's protecting the dollar. That's what happened with Venezuela.
And if you don't think that this administration is just as, if not more, authoritarian as any Democratic administration or any administration prior to even Joe Biden, this AI thing is really heating up fast. This is a story that I don't think enough people are talking about. This deal between the United States federal government, particularly the Department of War, and Anthropic AI. This is massive. Bell's got the video being pulled up here in a second. I'm gonna run down this real quick. Not enough people are talking about this. So, there is a possibility of a cancellation of a $200 million contract between the United States federal government and Anthropic AI. Why is this the case? So this comes from, it's through multiple sources. Yes, I have the CNN business page pulled up here. Fucking chill out. Check
I have it on Reuters. I have it on Reuters if you want to make him more non-biased.
I got a quick one here. So this is what it says. Anthropic has concerns over two issues that it isn't willing to drop, according to, I think this is CNN source. AI-controlled weapons and mass domestic surveillance of American citizens. According to one familiar with Anthropic AI, believes AI is not reliable enough to operate weapons, and there are no laws or regulations yet that cover how AI could be used in mass surveillance. A source familiar with the Tuesday meeting between Anthropic and the Pentagon says that the Pentagon plans to terminate Anthropic's contract by Friday, which is tomorrow. And I think they had a meeting today. I think Bell's got the information on that. But Anthropic's got, if a source familiar with the Tuesday meeting says that the Pentagon plans to terminate Anthropic's contract by Friday if the company does not agree to its terms. A Pentagon official told CNN that the company has until 5:01 p.m. on Friday to, quote, get on board or not. And if it doesn't, Hegseth will ensure, quote, the Defense Production Act is invoked on Anthropic, compelling them to be used by the Pentagon, regardless of if they want to or not. Hegseth will also label Anthropic a supply chain risk, the official said. So the federal government wants to be able to use AI to
basically however they want.
Essentially however they want. So what could that mean? That could mean surveillance. That could mean to launch wars. That could mean, as you said, Corey, that could mean a million different things.
And it's
that
just, and it goes down to
terrifying.
something as simple as just a picture of your face being uploaded by every camera that's in every establishment anywhere to a database, and then this surveillance system knowing where you were. This is the shit that just a short few years ago, people would say, yeah, see, this happens in China. We don't do that here. Well, we're about to. We're about to. I mean, like, it's laughable to think that they don't already have a rudimentary system similar to that now. I'm sure everyone's on a list. Everyone's docked on what they're looking up and what their faces look like. And it's like, I mean, like you see them flex it every once in a while, like Project Greenlight down in the city of Detroit here. They have a whole network of cameras that watch the city, and someone like something as trivial as like steals a case of beer from a gas station by some dumb kid. They get his face on camera, and then they're able to track him down where he is because based on what cameras saw with his car and stuff like that. Like it's used for crime in that situation, sure, but we're talking about just a database of all of your patterns of what you're doing, where you're going, being held by the government. And guess what? Governments get hacked all the time.
Yeah, and take this however you want. I don't really care, but I find it interesting that starting about 3 weeks ago, it could be longer ago than that, Elon has been tweeting little nuggets, shitting on Anthropic.
Well, just that, yeah, but that's just because he wants his AI.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's they've already said that Grok and others are willing to fill this void for Anthropic should they fail. And
so, and here's the thing, like, this is what's frustrating, right? Like it's I have this written down. The sticking point for this right now, and I want to just completely reiterate this over and over again. This is the fucking sticking point. Anthropic refuses to loosen restrictions it places on its AI, specifically guardrails that prevent use in fully autonomous weapons or domestic surveillance, even for lawful military applications. They're saying you can't, like, to switch it the other way. It literally sound and like letting AI have fully autonomous weapons and domestic surveillance and for even lawful military applications sounds like fucking Terminator. It sounds like Skydance. Was it called Skydance on that, or was it called
Skynet?
Skynet. Yeah, it sounds like fucking Skynet. Like just AI taking control of drone. Like, no, that's like, and the company, like, it's crazy that that's the sticking point, because if this company felt comfortable enough in their system doing that, they would just do it. This wouldn't even be a fucking headline. All of a sudden, military ran by AI. It would have happened overnight. We wouldn't even have known it was happening until all of a sudden they're like, AI is now running your military. But because they say their system isn't ready for that and the government is trying to rush it, that's the fucking scary part.
Because that means eventually it's coming.
Well, and even like we can always assume that it's coming, like, right? Like we all kind of already, like, I think everyone's already seen the writing on the wall for that type of shit. The problem is the government wants to do it now, and they want to use a system that isn't ready for that.
Well,
that's what's fucking scary.
Bell's got the video pulled up that kind of dives a little bit deeper into this. So this is Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, who says that so one of the points he makes in this, and I'll let him explain a little better in the video, but basically he explains that his fear is that being used in military applications is because human soldiers have the ability to disobey unlawful orders, as to where AI weapons would not have that fail safe. Go ahead and roll it, Bell. I'm gonna take a leak while this is playing. Go ahead and roll it.
That's one reason why I'm worried about the autonomous drone swarm, right? So, the constitutional protections in our military structures depend on the idea that there are humans who would, we hope, disobey illegal orders. With fully autonomous weapons, we don't necessarily have those protections. But I actually think this whole idea of constitutional rights and liberty along many different dimensions, can be undermined by AI if we don't update these protections appropriately. So, think about the Fourth Amendment. It is not illegal to, put cameras around everywhere in public space and, record every conversation. It's a public space. You don't have a right to privacy in a public space. But today, the government couldn't record that all and make sense of it. Right. With AI, the ability to transcribe speech, to look through it, correlate it all, you could say, oh, there's this, this person is a member of the opposition. This person is expressing this view, and make a map of all 100 million. And so, are you going to make a mockery of the Fourth Amendment by the technology finding kind of technical ways around it? And so, again, if we had the time, and we should do this, we should try to do this, even if we don't have the time. Is there some way of reconceptualizing constitutional rights and liberties in the age of AI? Like, we don't need to write a new constitutional, but
but you have to do this very fast.
Do we expand the meaning of the Fourth Amendment? Do we expand the meaning of the First Amendment?
That's the end of it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I kind of like everything. I kind of like everything that he's saying here. I will say this: I don't know how you fix the Constitution to prepare for AI. I don't know how you do that.
I mean, what do? Do you write the Bill of Rights and the Constitution like into the code?
That's fair enough. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe that would be
that would
be a Supreme Court
the
decision.
code would state these are the basic principles of your operations, and no command or anything from any sort of officer can supersede this structure.
Dude,
but
can you imagine?
But then someone could hack. That's the thing, though. Someone could still hack that.
Can you imagine
human error? And you can't hack a human being. It's based on if they've been.
Well, that's not true. Clearly, you can.
I mean, I guess you can, right? But that thing, there's a story human error. Like he was saying, AI can't detect the human error of an unlawful order and go no. What was it, the 70s? I think it was maybe the 70s or the 80s, but something happened with either a plane or a satellite glitch in Russia. And they're unlawful. Like there is no such thing as an unlawful order there, right? Like it's the communist Russia. But something happened where there was a glitch where this guy got sent a message that he needs to send a nuclear missile to America, that Russia was being attacked. And he didn't do it. He thought it was an error. And like he looked like he was trying to make phone calls. He was like, this can't be true, you know, because he was able to use a little bit more context of like relationships with America isn't that bad right now. And would an AI do the same?
Likely not. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about this technology, but all I know is I don't want drones flying around in public spaces recording everybody's conversations. And like, so Amade makes a good point there. Like, there really aren't any Fourth Amendment protections in public spaces. Like, that's true. You know, like,
yes, that's true, but
you can be surveilled, all that stuff.
But something compiling all that data and able to sift it through, and now it is able to. It's a very different thing.
It is something that would absolutely have to go to the Supreme Court. And honestly, I've had a lot of faith in the Supreme Court lately. I think they've made a lot of great decisions, and decisions that benefit both things that liberals want and things that conservatives want. They've done a really, really good job of upholding the Constitution. And I think I would hope that they would make the same good decision here, where no, you don't fucking get to use AI surveillance to surveil the American people for whatever your ends are for that.
Because if there was like a super constitutionalist judge that just showed up, like somehow get to the Supreme Court, and like his dissents, like, you know, they write the dissent letter or whatever, and like if there was someone who was just like, nope, goes against fourth, and that's his dissent. Like, nope, goes against first, and that's his dissent. Like, or like why he voted instead of his like whole spiel about like why he agrees is backed by the first. Like, that's just what his letters were.
And then when anybody questions him about it, he just answers with this one line.
Shut up, bitch!
No, he just goes, I'm a constitutionalist.
Yeah, it's
because like when we talk about surveillance right now, like in public, they have facial recognition. They can search through a bunch of different like databases to try to find you and start to piece together what you're doing. But like right now, if you're driving down the road, you're picked up on the camera at the gas station when you're paying for gas. Then you go to the bank to get some money out. You get picked up on the bank money. And then you go to the bar with your boys. You get picked up on that camera. Some of, you know, like these are all different.
It's not centralized.
It's not centralized. These are all data in a whole different area, like kind of siloed.
He's talking about freedom, you fucking queers!
We're talking about now having all that data just compiled. Like, remember the movie, like The Dark Knight? In The Dark Knight, they have that program.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about it with, and Morgan Freeman is like, you're talking about mass surveillance on the American people. And he's like, yeah, sometimes you got to bend the rules. And then he catches the Joker, and then he gives him the key to turn it off or whatever at the end of it to like destroy it. But yeah, like it's basically that. That's what we're talking about. Just a complete, like, when is the line of being in a public space and being recorded become an infringement on your Fourth Amendment?
Yeah, and that's what drives me. That's what drives me so nuts about like people that still the people that defend this administration. It's like, I'm not shitting on you for voting for it. Like, I can go back to, you know, the summer of 2024 and up into the election. Like, I don't know how many times I had to say
like,
it on
what
the
was
show.
the alternative, right?
Yeah, like, dude, like, I get it. Like, I didn't shit on anybody for voting for this administration. I understand it. I get it. But I also sat here and went, this isn't going to be what you hope it is. Like, I knew how this was going to turn out. I knew how this was going to turn out in a lot of different ways. When Trump started talking about tariffs, I knew that was a bad idea. When Trump started talking about the safety of the American people. I'm like, I know what that actually means. That means fucking surveillance. And, when he started talking about the Epstein files is another great example. I'm like, we're not going to get shit. Like he ran on message, and we know that people vote on message because what else can
shit
you
ton
really
of, I
vote
guess,
on?
CEOs have resigned, and like obviously like other countries are actually holding their people accountable, and people are getting arrested.
On that
ties to Epstein.
wasn't there just like a Duke or something that just got arrested, or I don't know.
I think so.
I can't remember at all. It's the news cycle is just too fast. I can't keep up. Did you want to talk about, Corey? I watched this a little bit, but I don't think I was paying close enough attention. But this Ryan Schwank video, or is that part of your TikToks?
We can play it now.
Go ahead and pull that one up, Bell.
This ties in. So what this ties into right now.
You set it up.
Is the government is still in a partial shutdown, which we are so used to fucking shutdowns in our government because they're so fucking inept at doing their jobs that it doesn't even make headlines anymore.
Because we don't need
it. Right now, like this is actually like a win for the Democrats. They want more accountability. This is the tie-up right now. There's a partial shutdown over funding for DHS because they want more accountability for like DHS and border patrol and stuff to have the same, basically be on the same lines as police officers, where they have to have a camera, identify themselves,
badge numbers, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's I got a list right here. Like tighter oversight and restriction on immigration enforcement with limits on use of force and less lethal tactics, requirements that agents display identification and do not wear masks, judicial warrants before certain enforcement actions, because right now they're using administrative warrants. We talked about that on the show and how it's a huge, like we personally feel like it's a huge infringement on your Fourth Amendment rights because administrative warrant isn't signed by a judge.
Correct.
It's just signed by just a head of a department. So like if you
it's a clear Fourth Amendment violation,
right? Because it's typically administrative warrants are typically used for like businesses, where let's say a business is just a normal factory that deals with chemicals, and someone thinks, and then a whistleblower thing comes out that they're dumping chemicals just down the drain into the wastewater. You don't need to go through a judge to go in there. Use the department like OSHA. OSHA just the head of like someone who's higher up in OSHA can just go, yeah, go in there and check it out right now. That's an administrative warrant essentially. They're using those to go into
generally for anything criminal.
Right. They're using those to try to go into people's houses and to allegedly, like not even allegedly, like to look for illegal immigrants. But like if the house or the address is mixed up and you don't even have illegal immigrants in your home, there's basically someone just giving these officers a free for all to just go into your house without an actual warrant. If you know your constitutional law, you can tell them you need a judicial warrant to come into my house. But if you don't know that and you're just scared and this officer goes, I have a warrant, let me in, he's not lying. You need to ask if it's an administrative warrant or a judicial warrant.
He does have a warrant.
He does. And if you and the government's like fucking vampires, if you let them in, then they can come in.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
but you have to invite them in unless
the biggest load that we've seen.
Judicial warrant. So there's that, and then restrictions on operation in sensitive locations like schools and churches, which is also fair. Like, I don't know.
I don't know about church.
And I don't even like even if you're for like completely for like I showing up to a fucking wedding or a graduation, you know, or a funeral to abduct some illegal immigrant. What is that doing to the legal citizens that are there? Like, what is that? Like, you have kids. Like, what is that doing to your 6-year-old just watching masked men show up and grab someone? And like, what do you think that's doing to their psyche about America? Have some tact, right? But so those are the things that they want to, like, is what's holding up the bill. I think there are some people that going over and above and trying to add earmarks to the bill that where it's like a moratorium on deportations. It's like, well, not necessarily like that.
We don't need that. We don't need that.
We don't need that. Like you're muddying up the bill, but that's why DHS is essentially being not being funded right now, and the Democrats are only asking for some accountability.
They won't give it. They won't give accountability when they're in power. Let's be clear. But in principle, it's good that they're asking.
And the Republicans are going,
Don't
no.
you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just.
The Republicans are saying no. Like I also said, I didn't look into it too much, but I also read that like Democratic senators were saying that Republicans didn't even show up for Les Wexner's deposition. Or his hearing.
That's interesting. So this video is he's a former ICE agent, right? That's what Ryan Schwank is. He's a former ICE agent who's blowing the whistle on, all the bullshit. You want to have Bell roll it?
Yeah, go ahead and play that.
Go ahead.
This adds into
Senator Blumenthal, Representative Garcia, members of the committee. My name is Ryan Schwank. I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution when I joined ICE on August 1st, 2021, as an assistant chief counsel. I followed that oath for 4.5 years, working side by side with ICE officers. And I followed it when I resigned on February 13th, 2026, a little over a week ago, so that I could speak to you today. I'm here because I am duty-bound to report the legally required training program at the ICE Academy is deficient, defective, and broken. 5 months ago, I was asked to teach the law to new cadets at the ICE Academy in Glencoe, Georgia, where ICE is training its new, inexperienced recruits. I volunteered, those without law enforcement training, I volunteered to take on this assignment based on my experience in law enforcement oversight, including at the state and local level prior to my work with ICE. On my first day, I received secretive orders to teach new cadets to violate the Constitution by entering homes without a judicial warrant. For the last 5 months, I watched ICE dismantle the training program, cutting 240 hours of vital classes from a 584-hour program. Classes that teach the Constitution, our legal system, firearms training, the use of force, lawful arrests, proper detention, and the limits of officers' authority. For example, they ceased all of the legal instructions regarding use of force. This means that cadets are not taught what it means to be objectively reasonable, the very standard which the law requires them to meet when deciding whether or not to use deadly force. Our jobs as instructors are to teach them so well that they can make split-second decisions about what they can and cannot do in life or death situations. Yet, in the name of churning out an endless stream of officers, DHS leadership has dismantled the academic and practical tests that we need to know if cadets can safely and lawfully perform their job. All to satisfy an administration demanding they train thousands of new officers before the end of the year. DHS told the public that new cadets receive all the training they need to perform their duties, that no critical material or standards have been cut. This is a lie. ICE made the program shorter, and they removed so many essential parts that what remains is a dangerous husk. No reasonable person would believe a training program suddenly cut nearly in half could meet the minimum legal requirements. These aren't abstract rules. They're required in regulations such as 8 CFR 287G1. Congress requires immigration officers to meet minimum standards for a reason. ICE cannot lawfully perform their duties, make arrests, carry weapons, and use force without passing appropriate training. New cadets are graduating from the academy despite widespread concerns among training staff that even in the final days of training, the cadets cannot demonstrate a solid grasp of the tactics or the law required to perform their jobs. Without reform, ICE will graduate thousands of new officers who do not know their constitutional duty, do not know the limits of their authority and who do not have the training to recognize an unlawful order. That should scare everyone. DHS assures the public these cadets can get the job training on compensate for anything missing at the academy. This is a lie. Many graduates go to their home office just long enough to get their gun, their badge, and their body armor before deploying to places like Minneapolis and other ICE operations with minimal supervision. It's shocking that anyone would think this is safe or responsible. And this pattern of lies is not isolated. It extends beyond the training program to include deceiving Congress and the public about the rules followed by ICE officers once they graduate. On my first day at the academy, I was instructed to read and return a memo in my supervisor's presence, which claimed ICE officers could enter homes without a judicial warrant. The acting ICE director authorized the very conduct that DHS, in its own 2025 legal training materials, had called the chief evil against which the wording of the Fourth Amendment is directed. That is physical entry of the home without consent or a proper warrant. Never in my career had I ever received such a blatantly unlawful order, nor one conveyed in such a troubling manner. Incredibly, I was being shown this memo in secret by my supervisor, who made sure that I understood that disobedience could cost me my job. ICE is teaching cadets to violate the Constitution, and they were attempting to cloak it in secrecy by demanding that I lie about it.
Making cinnamon buns because you don't have to make.
So yeah.
No. Shut up, libtard. What do you want, these illegals all over the place?
This just ties into what we were just talking about. And that's why I think it actually is important to share it, because the government is being held down right now because the Democrats are asking for more accountability from the Border Patrol. And I don't know when the last time I've even agreed with the Democrats. It's been a while.
I mean, look, if they're trying to uphold the Constitution, I'll agree with them every time.
Yeah. Roles reversed for Republicans.
Oh, the fucking Constitution's just liberal lie. Liberal lie. You need that. We gotta get rid of all these damn Somalis. Guys, we're with you on that. You know what I mean? Like, I understand Border Patrol. I understand deportations. I get all of it. I understand the logic behind why you would want that. But if you can't meet in the middle and be like, and understand like why we need to do this, but also uphold the Constitution, we can't even have a conversation. Because if you allow DHS or whatever department to violate the Constitution over illegal immigrants, you know, or quote unquote, something that you agree with, you have now set the precedent for DHS or any other department to violate the Constitution in ways that are going to fuck you over. And I don't understand why it's so hard for so many people to see that. Now, I will give credit to much of the American public because, as we've seen, the support for ISIS tactics is not very high. It's actually remarkably low. I want to say it's below 40%. As far as like the support for the tactics that ICE is using to do these deportations.
Right. Not to equate that with deporting people.
Correct. Like, yes, like all the points that you're going to make about like, well, you know, Biden, he let all these people in and how the hell else are we supposed to get them out? It's like, we have to get them out without violating the constitutional rights of American citizens. I don't really care about anything else. So once you start making it okay for the federal government to violate your constitutional rights for a reason that you think is okay, that's justified, you've set a shitty precedent. Anytime you give power to the federal government for something that you like, you have now given carte blanche to the federal government to use that power for something that you don't like. This should not be this complicated. And it's not that complicated. It's just that if you, they look at it like supporters of this administration look at it like you're supporting the illegal immigrants over American citizens. It's like, dude, that's not necessarily true. But you have to do this the right way. And the reality is, administrations prior to this one actually did a better job with deportations. Like, if you could look at this and go, I wouldn't agree with it, but I could understand a defense of what ICE is doing. If you could show me the numbers that say that the mass deportations that Trump promised are actually taking place. I don't love it, but if you could at least bring me those numbers, I could go, all right, I mean, I don't agree with you, but at least I understand your point. You know what I mean? But we don't even have that. We don't even have the deportation numbers that Trump promised. And as Ryan Schwank said here, we have ICE being unbelievably undertrained. Listen, it's just one guy's testimony. I understand that, but when you combine this one guy's testimony with what shit that's actually happened, with what you see with your own fucking eyes,
yeah, like for example, for that is that one that shit that just went down, like, and it was in between. I think it was in between Renee Good being shot and Alex Preddy being shot. There was that story of like two guys or a guy like beating the shit out of an ICE agent with a shovel or like a broom handle or something like that. There was that story. Do you remember that story?
I do, yes.
Because when that one
guy didn't die, so it didn't make the headlines for as long.
Right.
As,
well, and when that one
all
happened,
the
also we were like, oh well, yeah, like that makes sense. You can't try to fucking hit a guy with a gun with a stick a bunch of times, even if you're not a cop. The law is on your side. You can shoot him.
Right.
Like, all right. So everyone needs to like make sure that we're freaking out about the right things, not to delegitimize bringing attention to ICE being pieces of shit. And well, so that one happens, and then apparently those officers lied under oath and the charges were dropped.
Shocker. I'm so surprised.
Right. And then that correlates with exactly what this guy is saying. Like they're very, very, very undertrained. And it's our fucking tax dollars that are being wasted on these undertrained people to cover settlements.
And they're getting bonuses, dude. They're getting huge amounts of money.
And they're treating them like the Catholic Church. They're just moving them around if they fuck up.
Yeah. They're treating them like they're Catholic priests. It's moving them around the world.
Yeah. ICE agents are being treated like Catholic priests right now.
Nah, we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to send you to Rhode Island. We're just going to send you to Rhode Island. I don't know. I don't know if there are as many homosexuals in ICE as there are in the Catholic Church, but you didn't hear me say that out loud.
I don't know. Is Grindr servers going down wherever they're at whenever there's a surge?
I've gotten to a point now. I've gotten to a point now, and I want to make this very clear. I have a Catholic background. I left the church many years ago, but I have a Catholic background, so I have to throw that out there when I say this. When I look at a priest now, I immediately think he's gay. Like every time, whenever I see a priest,
like a Catholic
priest.
Him.
Yes, a Catholic priest. I always immediately am like, that dude likes tiny wieners. I try to let it go and walk away, but like I can't help that thought just taking over my brain.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
Obama and Larry Sinclair had a steamy love affair.
Nothing happened to me. I was in the Catholic Church, but I was never an altar boy. So I was not an altar boy. So I was not.
Yeah.
I did not have any digits inserted into my rectum at any
there
point.
with the father. You were there with the father.
Daddy, you're my daddy.
At least not that I remember. I may be blocking out.
I never sucked any ding dongs.
Thank you for that. I needed that. Trying to bring out my repressed memories.
Just bullshit.
Oh man, that's funny.
Anyway, ice blows. Well, hey, here's the thing. Here's my rule of thumb. Here's my rule of thumb.
You're gay.
That's not it. That's not it. It's pretty simple, dude. Just if you're just not on the side of the federal government, most of the time you're going to be on the right side. And when I say that, Trump supporters will go, "Oh, you got TDS." It's like, no. That includes, if you go back and listen to our shows during the Biden administration, it included them too. If you're just not on the side of the federal government, like the federal government during the Biden administration allegedly openly allowing all of these immigrants to come in, wasn't for that either. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, dude, it cracks me up at work, and like I have
just
friends,
don't be with the federal government. Just
like,
don't be on their
obviously,
side.
We
Pretty good rule
obviously
of
talk
thumb.
about politics, right? And then so like at work, like I bounce a lot of my my raw ideas before like I can refine them and feel comfortable in sharing them in front of people on our podcast.
And we actually, Corey, before you finish, we have actual audio of your coworkers.
And I don't take no orders from no woman, by the way.
But like my left-leaning coworkers, they always like make this joke. They say, "I'm the enlightened centrist," and it's like, oh fuck you! I don't fucking like that. That sounds dirty as shit. And then the people who lean right call me a chameleon. And it's like, no, my principles haven't changed, dude. Like, it's because before Trump was in office, for 4 years, I'd be bitching about Biden. And my friends who lean more left would kind of be rolling their eyes at me. And then the people on the right were like, oh, fuck yeah, you're right, dude. Fuck yeah, yeah. But now Trump's in office and I'm talking shit about Trump to them. And they're like, you just switch up every day.
Yeah, you're a flip-flopper. But it's like, no, my principles are fuck the federal government. Why is this so hard for you people to understand?
Why don't you get this?
Don't get bogged down by all the haters out there.
Listen, I've got to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day.
Oh, what else do we? I know I got more shit in my notes here, but we might be able to get to your talks unless we we talked about it. Oh, real quick. Bell doesn't have to show this one because it's just a picture. Let me share my screen here real quick. Zohran Mamdani. I gotta give credit where credit is due. That dirty fucking commie.
I mean, everyone, dude, do you see that shit? So it's so fucked up. And this is why I'm about to when it comes. Let me just say this real quick. With IDs,
I have to clarify before you do that. I'm about to say something nice about Zohran Mamdani. Go ahead, Corey.
Okay. He's pressing for like, like he's a proponent of like being against the SAVE Act and not having an ID to vote for like an election, right? But then in the same breath, just to go out and shovel fucking snow in the street,
$45
you need
an
like
hour?
2 forms of ID.
Yeah.
I still think that trying to say that like anyone being against getting 2 forms of ID or having an ID to vote is like racist, because they always go to the trope. Well, some people they don't have an ID.
It's the Gavin Newsom. It's the Gavin Newsom. I'm just like you. You know what I mean? It's the.
But
Gavin
I also,
Newsom.
you know what I also think? I don't think that there are as many people as social media tries to portray that are against people having an ID to vote.
No. Have you ever gone to vote and not shown your driver's license?
You show it every time.
I have every single time. Every time. It just is. It's just like nobody cares. Nobody actually cares. And it's that weird bigotry of low expectations where it's like, we can't force people to have ID because some people just aren't capable of getting them. Some of these poor black people in inner cities, they're just not smart enough.
Now with the real ID thing and stuff like that they're pressing, like it does, like I think it might be being exaggerated a little bit, because like you only vote every 2 years if you're active in primaries and stuff. You have 2 years to get your shit together to make it happen. Objectively, it does put more hurdles in the way for women who are married, which is interesting because it's probably like when it comes to what stat was it? I heard someone's stat like that when like 80% of women who get married assume their partner's last name. But 90% of conservative women and Republican voters who get married take their last name. And so it might be in a weird way, it might actually hurt the Republican vote more. Because like there's more hurdles. Like when we get when you got married or I got married, we didn't have to go through we didn't have to do anything else. You signed the fucking marriage receipt.
Dude, I can tell you right now, and I think my sister did this as well, but my wife goes by my last name. Like that's what she goes by. At least I think. I don't even know because I don't really give a shit. But like she hasn't changed anything. There's a million fucking things she's got to change. She's got to call all her banks. She's got to call all her credit card companies. She got to do all these things. And I'm just like, if you don't want to do all that shit, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like I don't really give a shit.
So you understand what I'm saying then. It adds a bunch of hurdles. Yeah. It adds a shit ton of hurdles for a woman to want to vote if she gets married.
If she chooses to take
there's a legitimate argument there. But you also have 2 years to do that, to where any woman I feel like who wants to vote is going to do that. Or you just don't change your last name.
Well, I got my issues with Real ID, but it doesn't have anything to do with voting.
It's like voting tax.
What do you got?
Yeah, they have to pay money to do a lot of that shit, right? Yeah, so it could be very, very easily be interpreted as a poll tax, and then that's
fair. That's a fair criticism that I had not considered.
Yeah,
a whole lot. Yeah, no, that's a fair criticism, but that's not the way they spin it. They spin it like black people are too poor and dumb to be able to get an ID.
Well, so there is murmurs now, like from women and stuff about that, and like it's like, okay, yeah, no, that's absolutely it's like fair. Like shit like that, and shit like taxes on tampons. Like it's like women do sometimes do get like less.
They get the shaft.
Yeah, women get the shaft. Hell yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do, brother.
You get the shaft, and for people to pretend that they don't is like pretty misogynistic. And you know what?
And I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up. And I don't take no orders from the woman, by the way.
Dude, you ever make the joke at a wedding? This is just out of context. This all started when they started letting women vote. Just to see who gets pissed.
They don't know you're joking, Corey. They don't know you're joking. It's not funny. It's not funny. You want to get to your TikToks? Oh no, we were talking about Zohran Mamdani. That's right.
Oh yeah.
We got a little bit off track. He made
brilliant.
He made my favorite commie. No, he's not my favorite commie. My favorite commie is probably Jimmy Dore. He's probably my favorite commie.
Yeah. That's probably true. You know who my favorite commie is? Fred Hampton.
Well, living commie.
How about that one, huh?
Let
me drop that one on you.
I thought we were going with commies that are alive.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go with Jimmy Dore. He's at least funny.
My answer right now is Jimmy Dore, but I'm not locking it in, Dan.
All right, don't lock it in. Zohran Mamdani made a brilliant fucking political move today. He met with I almost said, is it 2004? I almost said George W. Bush. He met with Donald Trump in the Oval Office today to talk about housing in New York City. And this was tweeted out, this picture that I'm about to throw up on the screen. This was tweeted out. This is actually from Zohran's Twitter feed. If it's too small to read, I'll kind of explain what's going on in this picture, and also for those that are listening. So it's Zohran Mamdani standing behind Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's holding up 2 front pages from the New York Daily News. And the one in his left hand, or to his right, as you look at the picture, is the headline that states, Ford to City, drop dead. I don't expect a lot of people to understand the context of this headline, but this is something that may have cost Gerald Ford the election back in the mid-'70s, because he basically told New York City to fuck off. And in Trump's right hand, or to your left in the picture, it's basically the same setup as the Gerald Ford front page, except it says, Trump to City, let's build, backs new era of housing. Now, why is this such a brilliant move by Zohran Mamdani, you might ask? And the answer is quite simple. Zohran Mamdani used Trump's biggest weakness against him. What's Trump's biggest weakness, you might ask? Trump's biggest weakness is his own vanity. If you don't know that by now, I don't know what to tell you. Any opportunity that Donald Trump has to take to social media or take to the airwaves and talk about how he's better than another president, he hops on it immediately. So what does Zohran Mamdani do? He goes into the Oval Office today, plays to Trump's vanity, and gets Trump to, I don't know what the agreement is. I don't think that's even really been released yet, but gets Trump to get on board with Zohran Mamdani trying to build more affordable housing or make housing more affordable in New York City. Now, what else does this mean? It means something that we've said for a long time about Donald Trump. He's secretly a fucking socialist. So he's going to go right along with what Zohran Mamdani wants to do here. It's a great play. It is a great play by Zohran Mamdani from a political perspective. I don't care how right-wing you are. You cannot tell me that this isn't an absolutely brilliant political maneuver by Zohran Mamdani. Right, Corey?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. We talk about that often when like good and bad political moves. Right. And it's like being able to call them out. Dude, it's so funny. Bell can attest to this. Thinking about that. Like when it comes to like thinking about like masterful political views. Dude, there was this guy. I don't remember his name. I'm gonna pull Bell in. There was a guy running in our city who was like this complete like jackass. I'm gonna call him retarded.
Okay, that's fair. Is that the colloquial
running on race baiting, and he was running on like Trump's "Make America Great Again" stuff. It was like 2018. He was I'm pretty sure he was Chaldean.
Go Bills.
He'd just be saying wild shit. And I commented on one of his things, and I said, "Dude, you need to be smoother than this. Like this is just like, sure, you could say this shit, and people might agree with you, but you're not gonna like win with this." And he
remember
asked me to be a part of his political campaign.
I remember that.
And it's like I thought about maybe like doing like some sort of consulting or something to like, I don't know how much money I was gonna get or whatever, but it was like, that might be fun. Like because I feel like I could sit here and do something like this Mamdani thing and get stuff like that into like his fucking campaign. But I decided against it because I was like, fuck, I might help this guy win. It's like, and I don't want that.
Bell just came in and laughed and then left. That's fine. That's all we needed.
No, he said he remembers that.
Say, this guy.
Jesus, Alex.
He just pops in out of nowhere. So, what are you saying, Bell?
That's you at the end of the campaigning with that guy. That guy was something else.
We get anybody yelling around here anymore today, and then the shit is going to hit the fan.
You want to get to your TikToks, Corey?
Yeah, sure. Sure, we can do that. Yeah, why not? We can do that. So, the world today seems a little tumultuous, right? Tumultuous?
Is that another word you can't say?
That might be one of them. Tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous. I fixed it. It wasn't like anonymity that took me like fucking 30 episodes.
I still think you said it wrong, but anyway, go ahead.
Anonymity.
No, not that one. The first one. Tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
Not with no. There's no ch. There's no ch. There's no churros here. It starts with a T. Starts with a T.
Yeah, tumultuous.
Have another beer. Anyway, let's continue.
Anyways, this guy makes a really good point about everything that's going on right now. And yeah, he does. And maybe we need to listen to it and hear him out. Go ahead and play that, Bell.
Schizos into office. This is the secret war that's been going on since the dawn of time. Now, most of the world is made up of normies. Now, these people are taken advantage of very easily by psychos. They prey on these people. They manipulate these people. They trick these people. Normies, unfortunately, cannot see psychos. But you know who can? Schizos, the heroes of our story. Schizos are the natural predator of psychos. We have pattern recognition abilities that are inexplicable. Now, schizos were once upon a time revered as the kind of wise people of their collective groups. Unfortunately, since psychos run the world, they've convinced all the normies to be afraid of the schizos. I make videos sometimes online, and my wife tells me, look at my Oura ring. My heart rate increased to a very stressful state watching your video, and then it went back down. Sorry, babe. Psychos benefit from their lack of empathy and their attraction to cruelty, it seems, and that allows them to accrue out of power. That power allows them to manipulate the normies to fear the schizo, to ostracize the schizo, to deny the schizo. It never feels very good to say, I told you so, when you're a schizo, and the I told you so's you're seeing are about like pedo elites running the world and stuff like that. That feels bad when you go, well, I told you so. But schizos, wish we'd listened to you sooner. But that's my point. We need to stop fearing and ostracizing the schizo and start opening our ears and hearts to hear the truth that they're telling us. Because the conspiracy theorist schizo is almost always right. Now, yes, you'll get some of the details around the edges a little wrong. It sounds a little literal. You need to understand it as poetry and metaphor. I'll give you an example. Birds aren't real. That's a fun conspiracy theory. That's just little listening device robots that exist. Now, there are real birds. We know that to be true. But are there also listening devices and surveillance devices everywhere, hidden in the natural world, it seems? We don't even know what the natural world is anymore. We can't even trust if the world is natural or not anymore. They're doing things without telling us. They're observing us constantly. Yes. There are things in the sky that are alien to us flying around. That could just be drones. That's all true. One thing I've noticed, there aren't any schizo politicians I can think of. Lots of normies, plenty of psychos. They seem to make up our entire government. What we need to do, start supporting the schizos. We need to vote schizos into office as soon as we can. Let's use voting. That's a weapon. And let's start looking for more schizo candidates. Let's get some real weirdos in there. Because at this point, what they're doing, that seems pretty weird to me. They think it's too big to fail.
I never sucked any ding-dongs.
We need to vote.
They think it's too big to fail. And
I think we there's been a few schizos, but they always get kicked out. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah. Well, she didn't get kicked out. She left.
He did leave out sociopaths. Okay, so the next one. Dan, I know you know, I know Bell knows, but the people listening, they need to understand. Legally, you can legally harass your representatives. Just harass them.
And we highly recommend doing so.
Not make threats, not like try to act anything out or do something crazy like that. Let the FBI pretend to be someone else that's your friend and then give you the access to do something so you get entrapped. But 2 a.m. phone call.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just
2 a.m. phone call to your local representative, just why you're pissed off at him. Keep it objective.
No threats.
Yeah, no threats. And why you think they're doing a bad job, completely legal. They don't want you to know that, but it's legal. And here's a really good example of that. Go ahead and roll that one, Bell.
Sir, can we ask you America first or Israel first?
Israel first.
Israel first?
Yes.
Before America?
No, of course not.
You fat penguin?
You have to say balls, you're going to get in a lot of trouble.
You're a fat, disgusting penguin, sir.
No, you're a loser.
You're a fat,
and
disgusting
you're a
penguin.
loser. You're the biggest
fat,
loser that
disgusting
ever
penguin.
existed. All you guys are losers, sir. You're losers that hate America and hate Jews.
You're a fat, disgusting penguin, sir. You're a
How do you
fat.
feel about Palestine again? Can you let us know?
In Syria,
Nobody gives a shit, right?
You said nobody
Can you
gives a
be-
shit, right?
Pal, I'm leaving. You don't have the right to harass people in these halls.
We're just asking you a question, sir. You cursed at us, bro.
I did not curse.
You said nobody gives a shit. We didn't curse at you. We treated you respectfully, fat boy. You said nobody gives a shit. You didn't say that. We have it on camera. Are you gonna lie now?
You didn't.
You're a lying sack of crap, sir. You're a fat penguin-looking PDF, sir. You're a PDF, brother. PDF file. Sir, can we
And he
ask you
takes
America first?
the fat shot drug. Seriously overweight.
When they get close, like they're still trying to keep the decorum of like the Capitol, so like they're whispering, "You're that penguin. You're a loser. You're a loser."
I just wish that was Randy Fine. I don't even know who the fuck that was. Israel. He said Israel first. He said Israel first.
So it says Randy Fine like in the captions, but I don't think that was Randy Fine.
That was. I don't believe that was Randy Fine. No, he wasn't fat enough to be Randy Fine.
Seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug.
And by the way, I don't know if I said this prior to the video, but we highly recommend doing this to your congressperson.
Mm-hmm.
Why not at this point? Why not?
Why not? So the only video that I want to share from the State of the Union, it was a sometimes it could be subtle things that happen, and what it's called is it's called a tell. And
like
when there's rumors about people, or when people are trying to bluff about things and things come out and they try to like disparage it or like throw it away and be like, that's not what I do. Sometimes there's a tell where it's like, oh, you might have actually done that. So go ahead and pull this video up, Bell, because this video I believe has a big tell with JD Vance.
This is at the
This one's for like the viewers, not the listeners. It's just a quick little boy for all of us. Go ahead and play it.
You got it muted.
He's got it muted.
Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. The hottest. Down boy. Now
it's the craziness you saw at the State of the Union, man. That was insane.
Yeah, JD Vance turning around and humping his chair.
Yeah, that one wasn't for the listeners.
I mean, he is the fraud czar now, who watches the watchers.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, he'll get rid of all that fraud. You know, who made this? Was this Emily Jashinsky? It was somebody on the Breaking Points post game show for the State of the Union, talking about why does it always seem like presidents just give the jobs that are the shittiest to the vice president? Like when it was Kamala Harris, she like became the border czar. and so now it's like, oh yeah, JD Vance, you're just gonna go take care of all the fraud, like whatever shitty job isn't going to get done.
And he immediately shuts down a shit ton of like Medicaid and welfare to the whole state of Minnesota.
Whatever isn't going to get done,
where half of the state voted for Trump.
I mean, Minnesota always goes blue, but yes, there's plenty of Trump voters in rural Minnesota.
Sure, but no, there's representatives and senators for the U.S. Congress and stuff
Right. It's just like California. Like California is loaded blue in the big cities, but there's a shit ton of Republicans in California. Like it's not as blue as you want to believe it is. Anyway.
Oh, no shit. Actually, right now the senators are both Democratic.
There you go. Ilhan Omar Ilhan Omar's in the House.
She's in the House. It's Amy Klobuchar.
Amy Klobuchar. Yeah, she's going to be the next governor, by the way.
And Tina
She
Smith.
will be. She will be the next governor of Minnesota. You got any more for us, Corey?
Nope, that's it.
That's it. Beautiful. Wonderful. Great show. Tell the people where they can find us.
All right, I can do that. Libservative Podcast. It's found on all social media podcast platforms. Our website is libservativeshow.com. We can be found at Libservative on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Instagram and Twitter at LibservativePod. Our TikTok videos can be found at Libservative Podcast, and you can reach out directly at libservativepod@gmail.com. Subscribe today.
And I don't take no orders from no woman, by the way.
And if you're watching live, hit that notification bell, man.
If you're watching live,
You're gay.
It does help. Word of mouth's great. Tell a friend. And if you've only, you tuned in halfway through the show, podcast is available about, 8 hours later after the live show. So make sure you go back, download that, and see what you missed. For Bella Body Snatcher on the ones and twos, he as always has been Corey Walsh.
He's Dan Griffin.
It's been Libservative, intellectual idiots fostering political and cultural literacy, and the world's smartest internet show. Until next time, we are out of
And
here.
I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back. Somebody must leave, or else the fight would not be made at all.